Lamine Yamal, the name that every Barcelona fan knows by heart, the kid who burst onto the scene before he even finished high school. The youngest player to debut, to score, to start for Spain, and the one people are already calling the future of FC Barcelona. But behind the highlight reels and social media fame, there's a growing concern that not everyone wants to talk about. Because while Lamine Yamal looks like the club's greatest blessing, he might also become its biggest problem in disguise. Lamine Yamal was born in 2007, in Mataró, a town just outside Barcelona. His father is Moroccan, his mother is from Equatorial Guinea. He grew up in a modest neighborhood, surrounded by people who worked hard every day just to get by. From an early age, football was everything to him. He played on the streets, in parks, anywhere he could. Coaches from local teams noticed how natural he was with the ball, how he could glide past defenders twice his size without even thinking about it. At only 7 years old, he joined Barcelona's world-famous academy, La Masia. For decades, La Masia has produced legends: Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Puyol. It's where raw talent turns into something extraordinary. And right from the start, everyone knew Yamal was different. He had the same kind of spark that coaches used to talk about when Messi was a kid. He wasn't just fast or skillful, he was fearless. He wanted the ball every second. He wanted to take on everyone, to make something happen. By the age of 13, his name was already known across Spain's youth tournaments. Scouts from other clubs watched him closely, but Barcelona locked him down early. They knew what they had. By 15, he was already training with the senior team. And in April 2023, Lamine Yamal made history debuting for FC Barcelona's first team at just 15 years and 9 months old. The youngest debutant ever in the club's history. He didn't just appear, he looked comfortable. He didn't freeze under pressure. He played with swagger, confidence, and creativity. In just a few minutes, fans could tell this kid was different. The media exploded. Headlines across Europe called him the next Messi. Spain's football federation rushed to secure him before Morocco could convince him to play for them. He was the new face of Barcelona's rebuild, the chosen one to lead the post-Messi era. But here's where things start to get tricky, because early fame, as magical as it sounds, always comes with a heavy price. Lamine Yamal went from being a teenager at La Masia to a global celebrity almost overnight. One week he was sitting in class, the next he was being talked about on every football show in the world. He got millions of followers on social media, sponsorship deals, endless interviews. Every photo, every word, every action analyzed and magnified. He became a brand before he even turned 18. And when that happens, something changes. The pressure becomes constant. The world stops treating you like a kid. They expect you to act like a star, to perform, to score, to carry a historic club through crisis. The problem is, Lamine Yamal is still growing physically and mentally. He's still figuring out who he is as a person, but he's doing it under the heaviest spotlight in football. He's not just a young player anymore. He's Barcelona's hope, and that kind of expectation has broken players before. Bojan Krkić knows that story too well. Once called the next Messi, Bojan was also a teenage sensation from La Masia. But the pressure, the constant comparisons, and the lack of breathing room, it was too much. He admitted later that he suffered from anxiety and mental exhaustion before even turning 20. Ansu Fati followed a similar path, bursting onto the scene as a teenager, being given Messi's old number 10 shirt, and then struggling with injuries and impossible expectations. Barcelona fans have seen this pattern too many times. The club finds a prodigy, the media hypes him up, the pressure builds, and slowly, the magic fades away. So far, Yamal has handled things impressively well on the pitch. But off the pitch, the warning signs are beginning to show. Over the past year, stories and whispers have started to circulate that Yamal is becoming more arrogant, more self-absorbed. You see it on social media: the expensive fashion, the constant posting, the lifestyle of someone already living like a superstar. He's often seen out with influencers, and his name has already been mentioned in gossip stories about girls. Now, this might sound harmless after all. He's 18. Teenagers everywhere do the same things. But the difference is, Yamal isn't a normal teenager. He's a public figure with millions watching. Every choice he makes, every small mistake will follow him forever. And some insiders claim that this confidence is starting to spill over onto the training ground, that sometimes he reacts badly to substitutions or shows frustration when things don't go his way. Maybe that's just competitiveness. Maybe it's passion. But when you're at Barcelona, those thin lines matter, because arrogance, even a little, can destroy a career faster than injuries ever could. And the truth is, it's easy to fall into that trap when the world tells you you're special every day. You're told you're the future of Barcelona. You're told you're the best in your age group. You're told that millions adore you. Eventually, you start believing it, and that's when you stop growing. That's the danger for Lamine Yamal. Not that he isn't talented, he absolutely is, but that the fame, the attention, and the constant praise might make him lose what made him great in the first place, his hunger and humility. What makes this situation even more dangerous is Barcelona's current state. The club is under massive pressure financially and emotionally. They've been struggling to rebuild since Messi left. They have debts, controversies, and an aging squad. And in the middle of all that, Yamal has become the symbol of hope, the player that fans cling to, the one that brings excitement again. But depending too much on one teenager is risky. The club needs him to play constantly, to perform at a world-class level, to be the face of the future. Yet, at the same time, he's still learning, still maturing. And if Barcelona doesn't manage him carefully both as a player and as a person, they could end up ruining the very thing they're trying to protect. That's the paradox Barcelona is facing right now. They need Yamal to save them, but by needing him too much, they could destroy him. And this isn't new. We've seen it before. Bojan was crushed by the pressure. Ansu Fati was rushed back from injuries too soon. Even Neymar, who came as an already established star, struggled to handle the expectations and the media circus around him. Talent has never been enough at Barcelona. You need character, discipline, and patience. Messi didn't become Messi overnight. He had years to grow under experienced players, with a club that protected him from the spotlight. Now, that same protection doesn't exist. The world has changed. Every move Yamal makes is online within seconds. He's living under a microscope, but maybe the story doesn't have to end badly. Because while the warning signs are there, there's still time, and there's still a path to greatness. Lamine Yamal seems to have something that many others lacked: mental toughness. He plays without fear, even against grown men. He doesn't hide from the ball. He doesn't seem intimidated by the pressure, and when you listen to him speak, he's still surprisingly calm and grounded for someone so young. He talks about learning, about improving, about helping the team. If he can hold on to that mentality, he might actually live up to the hype. But that requires discipline not just from him, but from everyone around him. From Flick, who must manage his minutes and keep him humble. From the club, which must protect him from being overexposed. From his family, to remind him who he really is. Because if those pieces fall into place, Lamine Yamal can be more than just a prodigy, he can become Barcelona's next true leader. But if not, if the arrogance and distractions grow, then history might repeat itself once again. At the end of the day, we have to remember something. Lamine Yamal is still a kid. He's 18. He's trying to live two lives at once, one as a global football star, and another as a normal teenager who just wants to enjoy life. It's easy for fans and the media to forget that, to treat him like he's supposed to be perfect already. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to have bad games. He's going to say things that don't sound right. That's what happens when you're young. The real question is, will he learn from those mistakes? Or will the fame drown him before he even reaches his prime? Barcelona's entire future might depend on that answer. Lamine Yamal's story is just beginning. He has the talent to become one of the greatest of his generation, maybe even one of the best in the club's history. But every story has two sides. The same fire that makes him special could also burn him out if he stays humble, focused, and hungry. He'll become the legend everyone hopes for. If not, he'll be remembered as another name on the long list of what could have been. For now, he's still the shining hope of Barcelona, but perhaps also, quietly, their problem in disguise. Because the truth about young talent is simple. It's not enough to have it. You have to handle it. And in a club like Barcelona, where pressure never sleeps, that might be the hardest thing of all. What do you think? Is Lamine Yamal truly destined to become Barcelona's next superstar, or are we watching the start of another tragic story unfold?